Hi, I'm Peter Travers, movie critic for Rolling Stone, here to tell you what's happening at the movies. And people, I feel really, really sorry for you. I promised last week, every day and every week, that Avatar stayed #1. I would begin with a little factoid about that. Well, I'm afraid that Avatar is now passing The Dark Knight, which is the #2 biggest movie of all time, and there's only Titanic for it to bring down, and you know that that's what's going to happen. James Cameron will have the 2 top movies. As he said quite modestly recently, it had to happen. Titanic had to lose its #1 spot. And the great thing is that if it had to lose to anything, it might as well be one of my movies. So it's all about Avatar and 3D. But what is facing you now? What are your choices now? Horrible. I mean, horrible. The invention of the scum bucket. That's why it was done for this. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is in a movie called The Tooth Fairy, in which he stars as a hockey player who doesn't understand when a little girl gets her teeth knocked out, and he tells her there is no tooth fairy, and for that he is punished by Julie Andrews and forced to do 2 weeks community service as a tooth fairy in a pink tutu. If you want to see this, I don't care if you say you're bringing kids to it. I don't want to even know the kids that want to see Tooth Fairy. Sorry, it's horrible. Then we get Extraordinary Measures, a movie starring Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. Oh, you're thinking this is an action movie? No, it's like a Lifetime TV movie based on a true story. When they say that, almost nothing is true. But it's about a parent, Brendan Fraser, married to Kerry Russell, who has 2 children who suffer from a form of muscular dystrophy called Pompe's disease, want to cure it, and go find an eccentric scientist played by Harrison Ford. You could see this on Lifetime any day of the week. I can't bear it. Then we have 2 movies starring Paul Bettany. What a horrible week for him. The first one is called Creation, in which he plays Charles Darwin, and you would think, oh, well, maybe this is interesting now, science and faith. No, it's a domestic drama about how he comes up with origin of the species so as not to fight with his wife, played by his real wife, Jennifer Connelly. Next, Paul Bettany stars in Legion, where you see him, he's the Archangel Michael, and he has to go to a diner and talk to human beings there to see whether God will decide not to create Armageddon and destroy the human race. Look, it's so horrible out there that what I'm doing is going to the Sundance Film Festival. Okay, I would have gone anyway, but right after I do this, I'm on a plane and I am out of here. And at least at Sundance, I can see things like James Franco playing the poet Allen Ginsberg during his obscenity trial. I mean, Franco? Allen Ginsberg, amazing. I can also see Joseph Gordon-Levitt in a movie called Hesher, a black comedy, the kind that Hollywood doesn't want to make. They only want to make the smoothie kind of stuff that goes on out there. I can even see K-Stu as we call her here at Rolling Stone. Others know her as Kristen Stewart. She's got 2 movies. In one, The Runaway, she's playing the young Joan Jett with Dakota Fanning, her New Moon co-star.
The Runaways have the most chance of any group I've seen to tear this world apart.
I'm a little scared of this, but I'm going to face it. She's not playing somebody who wants to be a vampire. There's going to be no mention of Rob Pattinson or any of that. And she has a movie called Welcome to the Rileys with James Gandolfini, in which she plays, believe it or not, a stripper. So I'm a little curious about this. But Sundance represents movies like this one. I don't know anything about it. Nobody who directed it or wrote it or stars in it do I know or do you know. And it's called simply Douchebag. It costs 2 cents. I cannot wait to see Douchebag while you guys sadly are stuck with all the real douchebag movies back home. I'm Peter Travers.